Welcome to Keep What You Earn, a show for entrepreneurs and business owners who want to scale and build enterprise value without making costly mistakes. I'm your host, Shannon Weinstein. I'm a CFO and CPA who left a career serving Fortune 50 companies in Wall Street to help business owners just like you make life-changing wealth with your business. These episodes are meant to be super tactical and actionable, but please remember, consult your own financial professional before you implement anything you learn in this podcast. Now, if you'd be interested in working with us to do so, check out the show notes for more information about our company, Keep What You Earn Co. All right, let's start the show. So to expand on our prior episode, I covered the $5 million bottleneck, which is what I describe as the major issues that prevent a business from expanding beyond a $5 million revenue level. And in this episode, I want to expand on that by talking about what you should be doing to multiply your strategic capacity as a CEO to even 10x strategic capacity, because that is going to be the catalyst to a lot of growth. There is a lot that is reliant on structure and having a clear system and having a clear sense of what that looks like for your company organizationally. But also you need to be stepping up and really leaning into the strategic work over the tactical. You need to be creating time for vision, relationship building, strategic planning, and disciplining yourself more than anything to actually go do that. And, if you're in this position, you're probably seeing your schedule dominated by meetings, approvals, micro decisions. You're needed on everything to keep things moving. And you're reactive instead of proactive. And the way I describe this is a funny example because this shows you how bad I am with directions. So bear with me. But whenever I started a new job or would go to a new work site, so I worked in audit and I would go to different clients all the time, I would have the GPS in my car. Where am I going? And I'm the type of person who, even until the last day I worked at my company, after like 7 years, I still would GPS my office address every single day. I would program it in my GPS. It's not that I didn't know how to get there. It's because I would get distracted into my music or podcast, whatever, coffee hasn't kicked in. I'm in flow state and I forget to go make my turn. I'm like, oh, shoot, I meant to make that turn. And it's nice to have that reminder of when to turn. Why am I telling you this? Because a lot of your team still need that GPS all the time, turn by turn directions every day. And your focus should be, instead of becoming a great GPS and bettering yourself as a GPS, you should be empowering them to pay attention to the shortcuts, the ways to get there, the ways to approach their destination, the places they're parking, all the little optimal details. And training on that so they don't even need the GPS anymore. They shouldn't need you. They should only need you when, hey, there's major construction on my route to work. Is there an alternate route? Or, hey, it looks like I won't be able to take this road. I won't be able to, get there on time. What else can I do? And coming to you when there's exceptions, not the norm. But if your team is coming to you all the time, for every little decision, then you're just a really good GPS. You're not training them on their sense of direction. And that's a really important thing to distinguish. Hey, did you know that you can actually see my face and watch this episode on YouTube? If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you head over there and you subscribe and check out all of the guest episodes along with some of my solos. We're posting every single week on YouTube. See you there. The most important thing you can do with your team is to start delegating decisions, but not the tasks. And trust me, I'm still doing a bit of this myself. When you delegate tasks, people will come to you when they have capacity and they need more tasks to do, or they'll literally do only the tasks that you're assigning them. And this is where, again, hiring the right people is key, because you're going to need to be able to empower them with decision making and give them the tools they need to make decisions. But if you've hired good leaders and they're trusted with authority and accountability, you should be fine. So you want to make sure you're delegating decisions and saying, hey, you need to make this decision, but you should be training on the guiding principles that you use to make decisions and empowering them with those skills, not just telling them what to do. The other thing is auditing your calendar, like relentlessly, like auditing your calendar, best thing you can do. Eliminate or replace low value meetings and make sure that all of the agendas are super clear. Make sure your presence is required, or if it's not, you are indicated as optional. You have proxies. It's really important to maintain control of your calendar. I can't emphasize this enough. That's going to help you really step into the strategic is when you give yourself the space to do so. And if you need to, you can create block time to just think strategically. Now, this personally does not work for me. It works for a lot of people. It's more about making the time for me to go for a walk, to listen to a podcast, to have nothing on the calendar, maybe one day a week. Some work I have to get done, but allowing myself to not be beholden to a meeting on the calendar or a deadline or anything, and just allowing myself to think, allowing my brain to wander. That's usually when I have some of my best ideas. So giving myself the space to do that. And then really leaning into what they call the zone of genius, but being aware of what you're good at and really trying to stick to doing things that are related to that. I know it's hard when you're trying to be the jack of all trades and do everything, but you really have to emphasize where you want to be in your business and how you want to be serving. Because if you don't get really intentional and literal and define what that is, then you'll end up taking on more than you can. I promise. It's going to happen. And you really want to be focused on, creating a structure around decision making and around prioritization. So we have this mentality here at Keep What You Earn, this sort of mantra we follow, which is prioritize impact over effort. And what that's designed to do is empower my team to say, what is the most high impact thing I can work on today? And to prompt people to think about that when they start their day from the standpoint of what's the thing that will move the needle for a client the most if I get that done? And conversely, what's one thing where if I don't get it done today, no one will suffer? And that will help you prioritize. Also, you want to be looking at urgent versus important items. Is anything time bound? Is anything creating dependencies, right? You have to be looking at the downstream impact of how you prioritize. And it's concepts like this that I try to teach my team that enable them to make strong decisions under these guiding principles, as opposed to, hey, Shannon, what should I focus on first? I always ask, what's the highest impact thing you could do today? And teaching the team how to evaluate impact versus, to come to me and find out, hey, what should I be working on today? It's not going to serve me to be the person that has to set their prioritization of tasks every single day or week. The whole point is to empower them with that decision-making skill. And the better talent you can hire that come with a bit of that instinct, the better. It's worth its weight in gold, I swear, having a leader, having someone who joins your team who can do that without you having to prompt from scratch. It's great. And really focusing on value driving activities is key. And telling your team, that you want them performing in the highest and best use of their time to enable you to perform in the highest and best use of your time. So when you multiply your strategic capacity, I think you can honestly 10x it with a few things, namely the calendar and namely training your team on decision-making skills and not tasks. Those two things basically alone will multiply your capacity to think strategically in ways that you've never experienced before. I promise you.
As you think about growing and scaling your business, it's important to focus on how your operating costs align with your profit and personal goals. Are you allocating your resources wisely? Are your expenses supporting growth, or are they holding you back? Building a sustainable and profitable business takes intentional budgeting and regular assessments of where your money's actually going. Now, with a power session, you can get personalized strategies to help your businesses thrive. Check out the show notes for more information on power sessions and how we can work with you to create the profit plan your business needs for a successful 2025.